The first submission technique I'm going to show you is called the box, and the reason why it's called the box is because essentially your arm and your assailant's arm are forming two right angles, which makes a box. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attack the shoulder, and this can be done to his right or left shoulder. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to attack Rich's left shoulder. Now the arm can be positioned in many different places in the course of a ground fight. We're going to take advantage or exploit if his arm is positioned at a right angle here. And again, this is a moment in time, a brief second that you see this window of opportunity to take advantage of it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to trap that arm in the position that it's at. What we're going to do is we're going to reach across, we're going to trap his wrist to the ground, making sure that we're using what we call a false grip. That means the thumb is on top, not under. This is called a full grip. This is called a false grip. So this is the grip we want. Notice how my arm forms a right angle and his is bent at a right angle, so we have this box configuration. My elbow is by his temple, and what I'm going to do with this free hand is I'm going to slide this under his bicep and grab my own wrist. Again, the thumb is on top, not under. This is the false grip, so you have two false grips. We're holding his wrist nice and tight to the ground. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to bury my head down to protect myself against any type of eye gouging or punches to the head, and I'm going to elevate his elbow up in the air. So once it's elevated up in the air, I'm going to drag his wrist back to my feet until I get submission. So again, I have the two grips, false grip. Make sure his wrist is married to the ground. His elbow is up in the air, and again, keep this wrist nice and tight to the ground and drag nice and smooth until submission occurs. Make certain when you apply this technique that your base is low, which means your chest is to his sternum, your hips are driven to the ground, and the balls of your feet are touching each other under his thighs. Again, this technique is called the box. Okay, ready? Box right. And box left, box right, box left. Keep going, Mike, just back and forth. Notice how Mike keeps that wrist to the ground, he elevates that elbow and he drags it back nice and smooth. When practicing with a training partner, make sure you double tap loud on your partner, like you can see Rich is doing it. Rich doesn't tap himself because if Mike can't hear it for any reason, he could damage Rich's arm. So we tap your partner's body so if he can't hear it, he can certainly feel it. This is called a box. Again, notice how Mike drives his hips to the ground. Mike, have your toes kind of, balls of your feet touch each other. There you go. So he's really lowering his base. And of course, you can double leg grapevine as I mentioned earlier. Good job.